Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of Success in the Classroom. Joining me today is Mr. Gray Weaver, the Parent and Family Engagement Liaison for Milton High School. Welcome, Mr. Weaver.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So we're going to dive right into Title I.
Okay.
Milton High School is a brand new Title I school this year, the first ever Title I high school for Santa Rosa County. We're so excited about that. What does this mean for the students of Milton High School? What new opportunities are now provided to them?
With this comes a great resource of funds available so that we can provide resources that are going to help our students be more successful. And kind of researching and looking at this, over 50% of our student population is considered to be living in poverty.
Okay.
And so the resources that we're able to provide right now for kids, some opportunities is first of all after-school tutoring. We've started an after-school tutoring program where every Monday and Wednesday we have, for 1 hour after school, we have math tutoring available. Every Tuesday and Thursday, English language arts.
Okay.
And then every Wednesday, writing. And so, students can stay after they need help with homework. If they're not understanding a concept, they can stay after for that. We're also working on transportation, bus transportation for those students that may not have transportation, to get home. And so that's one opportunity. We've also started ACT, SAT test prep Saturdays.
Okay.
And we had one just a couple of weeks ago. We were anticipating maybe at the most 50 students. We had 87 students show up.
Wow.
And these students came up on Saturday between 8 and noon. And we have 4 55-minute tests or prep sessions where they can go to math, they can go to science, English language arts, or reading.
Okay.
And they can choose if they want to spend 2 sessions in math or 3 sessions in math, and kind of bounce around. Some technology that we're able to, that we're working to provide for our students is we're looking to order 90 iPads,
Wow.
along with 30 internet cards. As we know, a lot of our students don't have the technology at home, and they've got a paper due. They're going to be able to check these iPads out, take them home overnight from our media center. 4 Elmo tablets, which I did not know what those were.
I was just about to ask, what exactly is
they're
that?
interactive writing devices.
Oh, cool.
And so we're going to kind of play around with those and maybe in future years add more in that supply. We were able to order 450 Casio FX260 solar calculators, and we're giving these out to all of our double-blocked algebra and geometry students.
Wow.
Which, of course, most of the time these students are scoring low in their math, and so that's why they're double-blocked. And so
Okay.
we're able to give them out to them, and they're consumable, so they'll be able to keep them through their high school career.
Wow.
And so along with that, some other consumable resources. I can keep going on and on.
Yeah, it sounds like
Sure.
so much already.
We have 550 civics books that we're ordering for our history classes.
Okay.
That are consumables. We also were able to order 4 different ACT, SAT test prep books that were given to the students that come to help them prepare for those tests that are coming up.
Okay.
Our parent and family engagement nights.
Yes.
We just had one this past Monday. We're able to provide those opportunities where we can share resources with our parents and our students of what's available.
Right.
A lot of times we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
And there's so much information being flooded out there, and these opportunities let us share with these parents some things that they'll find very valuable.
Wonderful.
To help their child. And we've got opportunities for our teachers and our staff as well, and some of those we were able to roll out tutor.com as a pilot school with that, one of the pilot schools, and we're able to provide training and a little bit of supplement to our teachers for that. We've got some assistance for our teachers to attend additional trainings this year. We're able to provide some substitute coverage so that our teachers can do some collaborative training within their departments, and just the resources there to help our teachers as well to be more effective in helping our students. So a lot of great stuff.
So now, Mr. Weaver, you all have just recently, as you mentioned, had your very first Title I Family Engagement Night.
Yes.
But I know that this is just the beginning, and there's going to be more of that this year. So talk to us a little bit about what took place that night, and then what's on the horizon to come.
Well, sure. We had it this past Monday night,
Okay.
and at Milton High School Auditorium. And really what we did is we started off with a general session in the auditorium where we just kind of introduced ourselves. We talked about some of the support services that I mentioned earlier. With all the after-school tutoring and the SAT test prep Saturdays. We talked about tutor.com. We kind of gave a general overview of tutor.com.
Okay.
And then we went into the breakout sessions. And the students and the parents could choose where they wanted to go to. In our media center, we had support services, and our assistant principal, Miss Letty, talked about what our guidance department offers, how parents could access Focus and the services provided there. We had both of our CDAC counselors there. Talking to parents about the services that they provide and how to access those services. We had our military and family life counselor there. and she presented all the information and had handouts about what is offered to our military families. We also had Ms. Angela Evans from the Milton Public Library.
Okay.
And they have a plethora of resources as well that are offered for our teens in our community.
Community connections at work here in Santa Rosa.
That's right. So we had that room. We had another room that students could go to, and parents, I keep saying students, that parents could go to, and the students, and pick up those free calculators that we're talking about, the double block algebra geometry students. And along with that, not only they picked up the calculator, but the parent and the student had training. Miss Henry, one of our math teachers, went through training how to use those scientific calculators, gave them handouts on how to divide fractions and so forth. So we had that room going. Inside the auditorium, we had an in-depth training of tutor.com. We had a couple of our teachers there at Milton High School that presented that showed parents how to access tutor.com, took them to some of the steps and showed them some of the features for tutor.com.
Okay.
And then also for our Spanish-speaking families, we know we have some parents that don't speak English.
Right.
And so our translators, we had a separate room for those parents where they could go with our translators, and they took them through all the resources, providing information in Spanish.
Wonderful.
So we did all that, and then we finished up with a grilled hot dog meal outside, and just kind of celebrated the parents and families being there with us that night.
So you can come, enjoy the faculty and staff and other families at Milton High School, get some great information, and get a meal at the same time.
You don't have to worry about dinner.
Mr. Weaver, you've literally just said a mouthful.
I did.
In talking about that was just the tip of the iceberg with some of the resources that Title I provides to our schools that qualifies Title I. That is amazing.
It is, and we're extremely excited.
Wonderful.
Extremely excited.
Now let's talk a little bit about you specifically.
Oh no.
So now this is your 30th year in education, 28 years in Santa Rosa, and I know a lot of people already know you as the band director, former band director for the Mighty Black and Gold Milton High School. So long time educator. Now you're stepping into this role of parent-family engagement liaison. Talk to us a little bit about just that shift from being in front of students all day to now being this family, looking at the whole family in educating the child. What does that look like?
Well, I'll be honest. At first, I wasn't sure, and as I kind of as I think through that question, it seems like my job probably kind of shifts and changes a little bit every day as we're kind of developing this job.
Okay.
But I really kind of see it in 4 different parts. First involves the students, and that's kind of the stuff that I just mentioned before. The after-school tutoring, the ACT, SAT test prep, the calculators, making sure that all the teachers are lined up for the after-school tutoring, making sure that all the documentation is taking place for that. Making sure the calculators are ordered. We're working right now on the iPads, and then when they get in, making sure that we've got the system in place to get those things checked out. The second part really has to do with the school. My new role with Milton High School is to make sure that all the documentation, as I shared before, gets put in the Title I crate. These are federal dollars. We've got to make sure that we follow things by the book, and it's making sure that...
And there's a lot of oversight there, right?
Right, and as my principal said, make sure that he doesn't get in trouble and that I don't get in trouble.
Right, absolutely.
And so, I keep the handbooks, I keep them on my desk, and about every week or so I go through the handbooks because I'm having to familiarize myself with a whole new world.
Right.
It's totally different than the band world, which is also the really cool part because... my head was always in the band world, in the music world for all those years, and now kind of seeing the school from a different perspective, and seeing all the wheels that are in motion, and kind of trying to pull those resources and see how we can focus this towards our parents and families.
Right.
Which leads me to that third element, and that's the parent-family engagement liaison, which I think is probably one of the most important parts of my role there at Milton High School, and that's figuring out how we can bridge that gap. When I was a band director, of course, I had band parent association, boosters that I worked with, and I always noticed that the students whose parents were involved really got the most out of the program.
Right.
And I think if we can bring that concept to all of our students and getting there and bridging that gap between the students and the parents with the school, that the students will get a lot more out of school as well.
Absolutely.
And the parents. So really providing these opportunities for parents, providing the resources. As I shared earlier, we get flooded with so many resources. And I checked my personal email today, and it's like, where'd all this junk come from? And But there's a lot of great information that's out there that sometimes we can put it out 6 or 7 ways, but they may not get it.
Right.
And so I feel like it's my job to find every way possible to get the information to these parents that, we have these resources available. As your child going through a traumatic experience, we have counselors on campus.
Absolutely.
Because as a band director, I would meet with parents sometimes and they weren't even aware of the resources that are on campus. And that's nobody's fault. It's just there's so much, a flood of information out there.
So I know that our district has just a rich history of being advocates, not just for our students that are enrolled, but for the whole family.
Right.
Many times like you said, we have so many resources that people just don't know.
Right.
And so we try in every way we can to get the information out there. So where can parents who are affiliated with Milton High School, where can they find you? How can they connect with you?
Okay, the greatest way to probably connect is via email, and that's at weaverg@santarosa.k12.fl.us. Again, weaverg, and if you know the Santa Rosa County email, it's the rest of that. They can call Milton High School. I'm in and out of the office a lot, but they can call Milton High School at 850-983-5600. My extension is 136. And I'd love for them to reach out and let me know. Email, telephone, anything that we can do. We're trying to get information out on our website with all these resources. I'm sending out emails and all that.
That is great. Well, Mr. Weaver, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule
Yes, ma'am.
and joining us today. And we'll see you next time on Success in the Classroom.